I'm going to talk today about shoulder warm-up exercises. You could do these as standalone exercises if you wanted to, kind of as part of your workout. But they're great for warm-ups, especially on pressing days where you're doing any sort of bench press, overhead press, any variation in between. So I'm going to go through just some exercises I've done over the years that I really like based on the equipment that you have. So I'll kind of cycle through several different pieces of equipment. Let's start with bands. Start off with the good old classic band pull apart. You have your palms down. This is just a standard version. Palms down, maybe a little bit outside, just depending on the kind of band you're using. And you want to keep your arms straight, and you want to lead with the ulnar side of your hands. Bring it back, and you're actively squeezing your shoulder blades together, right? If somebody had their fingers on my shoulder blades, I would want to bring them together. So that's what I'm doing when I do these pull aparts. Face pulls. And I'm bringing my elbows high here. They're kind of coming up in the back like a high pull. If you're familiar with that exercise, like a kettlebell high pull, all right, I bring it up back here like this, almost like I'm about to go into a snatch. That same kind of trajectory. You could do it low, that's fine too, it's a different way to do it. But I like really hitting, it's almost like a slightly safer version of an upright row, which are fine, by the way. Upright rows are fine as long as you're doing them correctly. But it's that same sort of trajectory. I'm going back, squeezing my scapula together, okay? Again, you can do it like this if you want. If you just have one band, that works totally fine. Scapula retractions, all right. So you could bring this back to whatever position you want. You could even bring it back lower. Just kind of feel around, see where you're tight, see where you want to, see what feels good. Bring it back into the this position here, like what would be like a karate horse stance sort of deal. All right, and I'm gonna just sit here and retract my scapula. It doesn't look like I'm doing much. I'm really not. But what's moving here is not my biceps. I'm not pulling on it. I'm getting my shoulders into position. These you want to go pretty light. So I like to take one band, a light band. Those little thin little orange ones that like Elite FTS sells, those are great. Bring it back, kind of give yourself some space in between. Find out like the center point. You don't want to be too loaded up on one side. This isn't rocket science, you'll figure it out. Just feel what feels right. Okay, we're gonna pull back. I'm gonna kind of spread this like I'm doing a pull apart, and I'm gonna rotate up. So back, full scapular retraction like we were just doing, and then bring it back. Just wrote Meadows on there. You're gonna extend this out, have your hand about right in front of like center. Okay? And I'm driving back. Okay, I'm keeping this angle the whole time. It's not a tricep exercise. I'm not doing this. Wall walks on here, something I can grip a hold of. So basically I'm gonna extend, again, get my shoulders in a good position here. And I'm gonna start high. And I'm not lazy here. I'm not letting my shoulders internally rotate. I'm keeping them back. I'm trying to actively pull this thing apart the whole time. Because if you don't, then you're just kind of sitting here doing this and you just look like an idiot, right? You want to look like an idiot and work your shoulders, right? So I'm squeezing my shoulders back. I just go down hole by hole here. For warm-ups in your shoulders or anything, just do a lighter version or a calisthenics, bodyweight version of whatever muscle group, whatever pattern you're trying to create. Behind the neck press. Sometimes when I do my pull aparts, I'll go behind and I'll keep that resistance and go up and down as far as I can go. Dislocates. All right, so I'll do pull apart, go all the way around, get a nice little stretch in the pecs. When I bring it back up, kind of combine all three together. It's a great combination. There's a billion other things you can do with bands. We're gonna move on. Body weight. I think these are called push-up pluses. I'm getting down to a high plank position like I'm gonna do a push-up. Hands about shoulder length, maybe a little bit outside. Hold this position. Clench your glutes, right? You don't want to be sagging in the middle. So clench your glutes, and you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Keep your arms straight. People watch you do this and they're like, that guy does not know how to do a push-up. What the heck's wrong with that dude? Right? Who cares? You know what you're doing. All right, so I'm squeezing the shoulder blades together. Very similar to that band scapular retraction movement, but I'm using my body weight as resistance. YWTLs. So when we're down here, I'm gonna lay down straight. I'm gonna make a big Y. At no point during this do I want to be up like this. I don't want to be putting any strain on my lower back. So throughout the range of motion of all these exercises, just keep that in mind. If you got to do this to get your shoulders high, don't do it. Just go up as high as you can while keeping your forehead and your feet on the floor. Because we're after the shoulders, we're not doing a lower back exercise here. Okay, so I'm here. Reach up as high as I can toward the ceiling in a Y position. Bring it back down. I don't let my hands touch the floor. Hold it for a second. Come back down. You go into a W. All right, so I'm trying to keep my hands toward the ceiling the whole time. Okay, and I retract. Arm haulers. Okay, so hands up off the floor, reaching toward the ceiling. I'm putting them back. Sometimes call these like yes officers or compliance, right? Like I'm getting handcuffed. Try to get my wrists together. Bring it back as straight and as high as I can. These are also very similar. They're pretty nice. I'm going to kind of create this S. I'm going to go back and forth. Just nice and control. Again, if you're just kind of doing the motions, you're not really doing anything. All right, so reach up toward the ceiling, back and forth. I'm going to get a nice upright position. Shoulders back. Hands, these are simple. Hands above me, and I'm just going to reach toward the ceiling like my hands are trying to escape my body, right? Reach up, high as I can, long spine as I can, and then relax. Arm circles. Arm circles is an old classic, right? It's like Jack LaLanne stuff. Just keep a nice tight circles. Just keep going out. You might watch me die. I'll be like faces of death. And I'm gonna pack my shoulders. And I'm just gonna do like scapular retractions from this position. So it's under load. It looks kind of cool. Okay, moving on. We're gonna go on to kettlebells. So all these kettlebell exercises. Let's start off with some halos. This is a nice little warm up. Grab it by the horns, have it about chin height, and you're gonna go back, big, slow, controlled circles. Don't let this thing slam into your head, not only for safety purposes, but also just a good indicator of proper mobility going around. Waiter walks, right? So I'm in this waiter walk position. Normally, if you got like a heavy, I wouldn't go too heavy with these, but if you do, it's nice to keep an eye on it, right? You don't want to drop it on your face. And you could do waiter walks, right? Keep your guts tight and you're walking straight, keeping that packed shoulder. You don't, of course, have to walk. You can just hold this position. Another thing I like is kind of like doing a little bit of external rotation while I'm up there. Windmills. So I'm going to bring this up. It's kind of like a bent press. If you want to do these, you want to point your toes in the opposite direction of the side the bell's on. So I'm on the right side, toes are pointed left. I'm going to keep my eye on the kettlebell the entire time. And I'm just going to kind of run, it's like I'm feeling myself up. I'm going to run my hand down the inside of my leg. Keep an eye on that kettlebell. Just go down as far as you feel comfortable. Keep that shoulder packed. Bring it back up nice and tight. Reaching for the sky the whole time. Dumbbells or small plates. When I say small plates, you know, I'm talking like 2.5 pounds. I like to kind of do like this, like, kind of a horn sort of deal. Put your fingers through it. Start off with some Scarecrows. Scarecrows are fantastic. They're one of my favorite overall shoulder exercises. Hinge back, push my butt back, drop these down straight under me. I'm gonna retract my shoulders, get them in position, okay? I'm gonna bring my elbows up, and I'm just gonna rotate as high up as I can go, back and forth, keeping my shoulders packed the whole time. You can mix in, they call these snow angels. So when I go up, I'm gonna punch out, keeping my arm in line with my ears. That's what I'm aiming for anyway. Out, and then slowly bring it down, keeping the shoulder blades tight the whole time. Retract, elbows back, rotate up, push it out. Snow angels. We got arm circles, yeah. Arm circles with plates, light plates, if you're feeling so inclined. Kind of a no-brainer. Go down to using the bench here. Pinky flies, okay. You can go a little bit heavier on these. These are actually pretty darn nasty. They're wonderful for just working the rear delts at the end of like a shoulder day or something. Or in the beginning, if you want to really get juiced up. All right, so I'm leading with my pinky side. Create just a slight angle, you know, I don't know, 140 degrees or so. And I'm gonna go straight back, lock it out. You kind of add a little bit of pop at the end there. Just get that little extra range of motion. The pinky side's great because it just really works. This rear delt really dials it in. The Scarecrows I was talking about before are wonderful. They're a little bit harder. You really got to focus. Retract up, out, into the snow angel. I mean, you hear me struggling with 3 pounds, right? These are no joke, but they're wonderful. You could get like a dowel rod. This is just like a cheap 1-inch plate easy curl bar. You can go back behind your head, out, keeping your hands reaching for the ceiling the whole time. So back behind your neck, and you could drop your neck a little bit if you want to. Not if it hurts. When you drop your neck doing these, you want to tuck your chin actively. You don't want to just let your head drop down. It's going to pull on your spine. It's not going to be good for you. So tuck your chin if you got to get your fat head out of the way, like mine. So we could do the same kind of thing here with the bands and the pull, whatever you're using, and kind of go behind the neck. Do these sort of old school looking lat pull downs. You could also do it on the front. Again though, I'm going light here. I'm not going heavy, not doing anything crazy. Because I'll hurt myself. You might be able to get away with it, but I can't. I know my body. So I got a suspension trainer here, like TRX. If whatever your suspension trainer comes with, you can do these with rings too. That'll work just as well. I just like these things, they're super versatile. Put a little bend in your knees if you want to. Set your shoulders, and I'm gonna do this kind of a high row. And you could adjust the angle, you could adjust your grip. All right, if you want to try it here, kind of hits the lats a little bit more. Try it down low. Again, as long as your shoulders are back and you're really squeezing things together in the back, it's going to do what it needs to do. So these are great. One more little thing I want to show. I like these a lot. You got to be careful with them, but it's a Y. So I'm going to make a Y. Reaching. I'm doing this up top like that. Let's do Indian clubs. If you have some Indian clubs, these are wonderful. These are just 1 pound. I think Garage Gym is the manufacturer. I think there's probably a million different manufacturers. This is like a, what do you call this? Some sort of poly something. I'll just show you a couple that I like. Start with the elbows locked. You want your pinkies over the ball here. You're gonna reach back. As far as you can go, cast out. Relax, reset. I like to start with those. And then these are sweet. You're gonna put the ends together. You can do these one arm too, if you only have one. Go around. And I'm keeping my range of motion tight. I'm not just kind of swinging it absent-mindedly. Through here, and then I'm gonna point these at my head. like I'm pointing these at my temples here. Bring it around into that position we just were with those overheads, and then cast out. So it's here, around, pointing at your head for a second, bring it all the way around, cast out. I like this motion. You could also do it opposite, where you come around like this. But something about that, my shoulder just doesn't like that as much. I just try to get that internal range of, or that internal rotation through other means. But I really like this when you come out first and then go through. Just really, you can see it in my face a little bit. I'm like really addressing, really kind of pushing for that range of motion there. So Indian clubs are beautiful. It's a good way to end it. I gotta get back to work. Rob Shoecraft, 3Storm Fitness. Please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you like my content. And please, above all, have a wonderful day.